Hey everyone, well it's departure day and we were going to leave very early this morning, about 5:30, because we have to work the tides when we're leaving the river. And the problem is that it's a fairly large tide and there's a very strong northwesterly. It's about 20-25 knots, so strong enough. If it wasn't a large tide, it wouldn't be a big issue, but the mouth of the river is going to be very choppy, meaning standing waves and a pretty rough exit at the mouth of the river, with the strength of the wind and the strength of the tide going against it. So we decided to just have a lazy morning and look at the tide this afternoon. We won't get as far today, but it's okay, we're on holidays. And for this trip I have my kids, and we are going to Desolation Sound. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy coming along to Desolation Sound. It's somewhere new. I haven't taken you guys there yet. And fingers crossed for some good weather, some good sailing, and some good relaxing. So yeah, just going to wait a few more hours. Once the tide starts coming back up, then we will see how the wind is doing. It's supposed to die off a bit, and the main thing is there won't be that strong ebb going out the river. So even if the wind hasn't died off a lot, the river won't be rushing out so much, and it should knock down those waves at the mouth. Yeah, so exciting times. We're going away for a little while, and we'll see how the adventure unfolds. So we're still here at the marina waiting to leave, and we looked over towards the river and we see this big plume of dark smoke, and there's actually a plane flying around it right now. You can see it's been circling around, so something's going on the other side of the river. Just behind the island there. Right behind that island is the main part of the river, Fraser River. So we finally left the dock, and it's about 4:50 p.m. I was hoping to have left a little sooner, but you know how that goes. We got busy doing a couple things, and I had to wait for that tide to get high enough. There's actually a little bit of a hump just outside my marina, and I've seen a few boats get stuck there. I've never been stuck there yet, but I always make sure I leave when there's lots of water, so I wanted to just be sure I didn't get stuck there. A tip for going over shallow spots is to always go on a rising tide. So if you do get stuck, the tide will probably lift you off in 10 or 15 minutes, or even less maybe. This is a big tide today, so it probably would lift me off, yeah, within about 10 minutes. And then I might get more stuck until you get over the hump anyways. But I was feeling okay. If I did get stuck, it wasn't an issue. I'd just float off. If you're going on an ebb tide, of course, you'll just keep getting more stuck. So it's not a good time to cross over something where you know you might touch bottom. I checked on the news to find out what the fire was, and it turns out it's a place called Burns Bog. That's over in Delta. And I guess there was a fire there in 2005, so they've tried to keep people out of there. It was a human-caused fire in 2005, and now it's been on fire all day again. this has been an exciting run down the river so far. We just left, and these water bomber planes are going right past us. The river's pretty wide, and they've already passed me, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times since leaving the marina. So they know I'm here along the north side of the shore. But we've also got a freighter coming down now, so they're dodging him. Looks like it's full of logs. He's behind me. But so I'm trying to stay as tight as I can to the north side of the shore, or the north side of the river, so I can let that freighter go by and these planes go by. So busy. But it's kind of exciting. Well, unfortunate that the bog is on fire, but a little more interesting going down the river with these planes picking up their water. Well, we're just about at the mouth of the Fraser River, and I'm really glad that we decided to wait till this afternoon. It's a little choppy, but nothing like what it can be. And when you have that opposing wind and current with the northwest wind and a large tide falling, you'll get these big standing waves right at the mouth. If you actually want to see that, look at my cruising video from last June. So that's June 2015. And I think it's part 1. Part 1 or part 2. I'm pretty sure it's part 1. And you'll see us go out the mouth of the Fraser, and there's some big standing waves that we go through. So the boat can manage it, but it's just leaves you open for things happening, and I would rather be a little more comfortable and wait for part of the day and then come out later today. We'll see what happens when we get into the Strait of Georgia for how far we go. It'll either be Granville Island or Plumper Cove. That's up near Gibson's, Plumper Cove is. So we'll see. And the wind is kind of a southwest. So it's shifted, and that would be good. That might give us a little bit of a sail downwind as we go towards Vancouver. But if it's not a lot of wind, we're just going to keep motoring because we're going to run out of daylight. So I already know we'll be anchoring in the dark, either in English Bay or Plumper Cove. So we'll see what we decide. It's 20 minutes after 7. But it's just the start of July, so the days are still really long, so that's good.
How are you gonna walk?
What are you doing to Tate?
Henna?
But
But it's gonna be smudged. I'll put it right
no, you put it on.
No, you're gonna smudge it.
And there must have been some sort of deal for him to let you do this. What was it?
He gets to spray me in the face with the water bottle once. No, twice.
Twice? And then you get to put henna on him?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm not putting it in there.
Okay, Shay's applied the henna to Tate, and now it's time for payment.
That was 3. You said 2.
I missed the first one.
You said 2. That was 4.
Then you give me once,
Twice. You sprayed me 2 extra
missed
times.
the first one.
You sprayed me 2 extra times.
just anchored and we decided to go to Port Graves. When we came up the west side of Bowen Island, it was actually not really much further to Port Graves than to Plumper Cove. Plumper Cove is pretty small compared to Port Graves, and when we got in here there was lots of room to anchor. It's late and it took us a little longer than we'd hoped because once the light was gone it was quite cloudy. It clouded over and there was no ambient light in the sky, it seemed, so hard to see if there's anything in the water, so I slowed down. And I would rather hit a log doing 3 knots than 6 knots, so it took a little longer, but we're here and going to go to bed. Tomorrow won't be a big rush and it'll be an easy exit on our way up to probably Pender Harbor, I think. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Here's Tate. He's decided to come out of the cabin and say hi to everyone. How are you enjoying the trip so far, Tate?
But
Great!